All right, what's good, everyone? I wanted to, well, just another recap to the recap I did yesterday, but I wanted to do a review or show a video of a review of a camera that I just purchased. So I wanted to give another content creators um aspect on, I guess, the equipment, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna make sure I tag him in this video so I can give him his credit where credit is due. This is my first time watching this, but let me see. I purchased mine yesterday, so I want to see what another content creator, and that way I don't get hit with a flag or anything or copyright. I'm gonna make sure to tag them, do the proper reaction time, holds, and all that other stuff. But I legit have some high expectations for this camera, so let's begin. I said let us begin like it's a class.
The Sony ZV10ii came out in 2022, and that's been nearly 3 years since release. In a world where tech moves really fast, that can make it seem like you're now looking at an outdated camera. But I really don't think that's the case. In fact, I think this is still going to be the budget king. This is still the best bang for your buck. This is still the entry-level camera to get in 2025. Sony...
Yeah, I heard that, right? He said in 2025, so as I'm doing this unboxing real quick, y'all, I really wanted to get the white one. I'm not gonna hold you, but oh wow, and I got it with the, yeah, that's right, I got it with the additional lens. Cool.
They did recently release a ZV-E10 Mark II, but don't get it mixed up. That is not a replacement for this camera. That is just another new camera. It costs more money. It's got a different sensor. In my opinion, this is still the budget king. If you're looking to go from iPhone sort of video setup, or maybe just some kind of older gear, maybe you're like a small brand or influencer or something, and you're looking to up your game in terms of quality for your content and so.
Y'all, I messed up already. I got the other one. Okay, let's try this one. Well, this is embarrassing. Let me find a shorter video. As y'all can tell, content creating, here we go. Ah!
The Sony ZV-E10
there we go.
has finally released, but is it a worthy upgrade to the original?
I sure hope so.
This is a donut. I sent back the camera already, but I had to hold something.
He sent it back? Oh man, now I'm scared. Okay. Nice theme music.
Down to it because there's lots to talk about the new Sony ZV-E.
I sure hope so. Well, anyway, let me go some more in the camera. I got the series too. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, so now I'm a little nervous. Takes a USB port to charge it, and then here's the battery. Unless is this an additional battery? I feel like this is an additional battery. All right, cool. So not bad. Some review, right? So lanyard, charging cable, charging port. Sorry, charging cable, charging port, battery. And the hell is this? Oh, for the top of the camera. Cool.
ZV-E10 Mark II. Lots of cool upgrades and lots of weird quirks that make this camera not so much of an upgrade. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have enough information to decide whether or not to get the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II or...
I mean, I like the fuzzy thing.
You could get both. But first, let's talk about what's new with the camera. The ZV-E10 Mark II now has a 26 megapixel sensor versus the 24 megapixel sensor on the original
26 megas? I don't know what all that is, y'all. ain't gonna hold you.
JPEG, so no change.
I'm not trying to do all that, don't really care.
Things, you can now film 4K 10-bit 422 video in...
That's kind of what I want to do. All of that. But why did he say that it sucked? I'm a little bit concerned. He said he sent it back. Now I'm kind of like, why'd you do that? It's not a good streaming camera? You know what? Words have meaning, y'all. I'm going to just plug this up real quick while that way I can test her out. Don't want to fuck up the... Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? So right here. So at least it takes... Oh, it's a Type-C charger. That's actually pretty convenient. So while it does... Actually, no, let me... Since it takes a Type-C... If it takes Type-C... Hopefully this doesn't fry my camera once I got it. So I'm about to turn her on. So this one came with an additional lens. I was like, wait, why did it do that? But let me assume this is how you turn it on. This is how you turn it on? That's not how you turn it on. How you turn this thing on? Y'all, I'm really a rookie when it comes to stuff like this. Alright. This is the power button. Think that's the power button? New?
Internally up to 60 frames per second versus on the original ZV-E10 where you can only film 4K 420 8-bit video up to 30 frames per second.
That sounds really nice.
There's more data in 10-bit video, which gives you a little bit more room to play
with
in
Japanese.
Post. You're still gonna find some limitations with the camera because
the user gotta scan the code.
10-bit video in the new ZV-E10 Mark II, it is gonna make color grading a little bit easier in post. Another new feature on the ZV-E10 Mark II is the vertical display auto rotation. This is probably
that's
my
nice.
favorite feature on the new camera.
That seems pretty cool.
Filming vertical content.
Yeah, that seems like really cool. How do I turn this motherfucker on? Didn't mean to do that.
Full new upgrade on the ZV-E. You can see it vertical.
Meant to pause it. I hope somebody watching this and not laughing their ass off right now. It does that. Does that. But how does it? On. The fuzzy thing covered it, y'all. Don't laugh at me. English. Enter. Oh, it says set the time zone. But Chicago, New Mexico. Motherfucker, I'm in the South. Where's San Antonio? Cabal? Dubai? Wait, hold on. How the fuck? Tokyo? Fuck it. I want to be in Japan. Alright. Well, so far so good. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, y'all. This is actually... Damn. So...
It's like one of those features that's like so small but makes sense because we're all filming vertical content. Like when I was filming vertical stuff on the camera, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And so now I want this feature to be in all Sony cameras, hopefully with a small firmware update. Oh, another cool new upgrade on the ZV-E10 Mark II is that it now uses the bigger Sony Z batteries. Thank goodness, because those tiny Sony FW50s, I think they were called, those tiny batteries sucked. Like I hated those batteries.
They still suck. They go dead when you try to stream with them. So let me menu. Okay, I forgot to put off. Let me see something, y'all. So where does the... So that's where that goes, but where does the... Unless it takes something else, which I doubt. So far, so good. I'm not going to hold you. What I saw through this lens was 1,000 times clearer, though. I might actually just use this camera for the live stream event I got this weekend. Might. We'll see.
Will just make your camera last a lot longer, and because it's a bigger battery, that means a bigger grip on the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II.
Yeah.
Huge welcome. Also, what's new on the camera is the 3-directional onboard mic, which is the same exact mic from the ZV-E1. Now, I'm not a big fan of onboard mics. I think they all sound...
I really wish I stuck with the white one.
Especially when compared to a shotgun mic. But this is actually Sony's best onboard mic, and the sound quality is actually not too bad. It sounds pretty clean, but keep in mind, if you are going to use this mic to vlog with, you are going to hear a lot more of the surroundings. And even though the audio quality itself sounds pretty decent, the actual...
Not too worried about the audio quality, but where do I put... So I couldn't find the on and off button, and I couldn't find the... Well, let's see what this guy has to say real quick, though. But so far, based on what I'm seeing, this is the route I would want to go for my live stream events. Let's continue.
Actual detection of where the audio is coming from isn't always accurate. Alright, so the ZV-E10 Mark II got an upgrade, but for this segment of the video, pay attention, because I'm just going to use the camera as is. No special expensive lenses, no special expensive microphone. I'm just using the camera, the onboard mic, and the new 16-50 Mark II kit lens. And we're here.
Damn it.
But keep in mind, if you are going to detection of what... Alright, so the ZV-E...
My bad, y'all. I still need to work on doing reaction videos. But anyway, so, I mean, based on what I see right now, I need to... Which one is this one? I got... This one's a 128. This one's a 128. And this one... Damn. Alright, so all three are 128, so that's actually pretty good. Alright, let's continue. Everything y'all see is content, so I ain't gonna do no edits.
I'm just gonna use the camera as is. No special expensive lenses, no special expensive microphone. I'm just using the camera, the onboard mic, and the new 16-50 Mark II kit lens. And we're here at Six Flags over Texas. You enjoying yourself?
Oh, Texas, a Texas content creator.
You can film in 4K, 10-bit, 422, and S-Log3 and S-Editone. Well, now you know. And then just a couple more new things about the camera. It's got...
Maybe I should have done that. Like, as I make a video, eat a donut. Anyway.
Breathing compensation, or the camera crops in a bit if you're using a lens that's notable for focused breathing. It's got the MI hot shoe so that you can use Sony mics like the ECM-V10 or the M1 mic. It's got an improved active mode stabilization.
Yeah.
It's the same squared off compact design, although it is smaller and lighter, which is
really cool.
And the camera now has...
No. Okay, this is getting boring, guys. Alright, how about this? Review for streaming? Words. See what another content creator has to say about it. And all I can do really is just... It's still... Okay, yeah. 7th thing to know is before you buy. How about this? Because I already bought it.
What's going on? Today I want to talk about 7 things you should know before you decide to purchase the brand new Sony ZV-E10 Mark II.
Okay.
Now, some of these are good things, some of these are not so good, but I think all of them you should definitely know at least before you buy this camera.
Maybe I should have watched this video before I purchased.
I'm going to jump right into this video, but if it does help you out, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to my channel. Alright, number one, this is mostly going to...
What this guy said in regards to my channel.
affect you if you're upgrading from an older APS-C Sony camera like the A6000, A6400.
Yeah, I went from
even the original Sony.
I have the
so the ZV10ii
A6100. Yeah, the not without my bad. Yeah, no. The 6100 series, y'all.
Or their full frame cameras. But now they added their bigger batteries into the ZV-E10 Mark II instead of the smaller FW50 batteries. And so this means you're getting a lot better battery life. You're getting a bigger grip in this camera to, be able to fit these bigger batteries. But it also means if you're upgrading from an older APS-C Sony camera, like most of the other A6000 series cameras or the original ZV-E10, you're now going to have to upgrade to these FC100 batteries. Now that is a good thing because these are bigger, better, just newer batteries. But if you had a huge stack of the older batteries already, you're going to have to get rid of those and buy new batteries for this camera.
Damn.
Alright, next up, the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II doesn't have any sort of electronic viewfinder. So what this means is no matter what, you have to use this 3-inch articulating screen on the back of the camera. Now this camera really does...
So does that mean it's constantly going to have to be flipped open if I record and do my live streams?
Have a great screen. It's an upgrade from the original ZV-E10 Mark I. It's a fully articulating 3-inch touchscreen. However, if you do photography, not having an EVF is going to be sort of limiting, especially outdoors in bright conditions. A lot of times, even with the screen brightness all the way up, it's just really difficult to see the screen and see what you're taking photos of. And so it's definitely something that you should think
not going to be doing all that.
If you decide to purchase this camera, there are other Sony cameras that have EVFs built in. If you want to spend a little bit more, you can go with the A6700, which has a lot of the internals of this camera, but it also does have that built-in EVF, and it's going to be a slightly more expensive camera. So just something to keep in mind, Sony did decide to leave out the EVF on this camera.
So, yeah. Okay.
In order to be able to fit in other specs at this price point and keep it as small as possible. Alright, next up, this is kind of a small thing, but definitely something you should know before you buy this, especially if this is going to be your first ever camera.
Probably should have watched this video first.
There is no charger and no USB-C cable or anything like that included. Just the camera and the battery itself. So legitimately, out of the box, there is no way to charge this camera. Now, most people at least have a USB-C cable laying around that you can charge this camera with. But if you legitimately don't have a USB-C cable and don't have an FC100 battery charger, straight out of the box, there is no way to charge this camera. I think that's really weird. And it seriously would have cost Sony, what, a couple dollars to add a simple USB-C cable? But I can guarantee there will be some people that buy this.
Weird. Mine came with one. Y'all think this is the U-Waver? Anyway.
And just not have a way to charge it and have to go out and buy something separate, which is just kind of weird. You're buying a $1,000 camera from Sony and it doesn't have any way to charge it. Either way.
I bought this from Best Buy for $7.99. This isn't a recent video. This probably is when it first came out. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. They probably had enough time to do some updates. I'm tripping.
Wait, I'm not going to be stuck on this for too much longer. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, next up, because of the frame rates, the codecs, the resolutions that this camera can film in order to be able to record the highest quality video out of this camera and just get overall the best specs, you're going to need a UHS 2 SD card. So again, this is something that if you have an older Sony camera, like an A6000, A6400, or even the original ZV-E10, with those cameras, you could get away with pretty much using any SD card. However, with this camera, because it records 4K 10-bit 422 video at really high bit rates, you're specifically going to need a UHS 2 SD card to get the most quality out of this camera. Otherwise, you're going to be slightly limited in terms of the resolutions and frame rates that you can record in. Now, again, like all of this,
I'm gonna need
this
a what?
isn't a super big deal, but it is something that you should probably know just in case you need to spend a little bit extra on a new SD card. If you want to record.
Wait, I'm gonna need a what?
Now, you're going to need a UE10. So again, this is something that if you have an old
program. Wait, what? So I have a a SanDisk, if that makes sense. But it doesn't. So what's the difference between? Let me see something. I'm gonna go on Amazon real quick. I'm over here looking at dummy batteries and shit. That's why I'm kind of like, wait, what? Pro grade 250 SD card. Whoa! I'm really glad I watched this. So I can't. Wait, so where do the SD card? Okay, how about this? Where do the SD cards go?
Older Sony camera, like an 8 bit rate, you're specifically gonna need a UHS 2 that you're gonna record in. Now again, like all of these, this isn't a super big deal, but it is something that you should probably know just in case you need to spend a little bit extra on a new SD card. If you want to record something like 4K 60 FPS in XAVC-SI, which is the highest quality format this camera can record. Alright, next up, going off of the recording resolution and specs, if you decide to record in 4K 60 FPS, there will be a slight crop in on this sensor. I think it's around a 1.1x crop, so it's not very substantial. But you just won't be able to get quite as wide of footage as you would in something like 4K 24 or 30 frames per second.
Got you.
All right, next up, this is something that isn't in any of the specs or the marketing terms or anything for this camera. But
so I still think I'm good with this.
The exact same sensor and a lot of the same internals as its bigger brothers, the FX30 and the A6700. This camera actually has dual base ISOs of 800 and 2500.
All right, yeah, cool. Thank you for that. Anyway, y'all, let me go back just to my actual channel, my studio channel. So, yeah, I guess. Dashboard. No, I gotta delete this. Delete. Yeah, May 1st. Yeah, I don't need to understand. Cool. Well, anyway, y'all, I guess this is my review on the camera. It's not really my review, but I ended up getting, like I said, a different camera. So we'll see. I still got to figure things out, but based on what I see on Amazon right now, I'm like, whoa! So the SD cards that I bought were just relatively cheap, but I didn't realize that I needed a 2.0 memory card. Hold on. Let me see something. 2.0 micro SD card. And it's not like this shit matter, but like I said, I already have enough 128s. But anyway, I'm gonna do some playing around with it. I'm gonna figure it out. Again, this is just me posting another video, but as of right now, as it stands, I do have another additional camera. Originally, and y'all probably can't because I've been using it for my live streams. Originally, I have been using this camera for most of my content, and as y'all can see, the dummy battery and everything is plugged in. So for what I want to do, what was it, between, they actually look the same putting them side by side together. Be careful, Lord forbid. No, on some real shit, like they look about the same. I know I bought the additional lens on it when I purchased this one, but both of these look the same to me. But this one is supposed to be the better camera, so we'll see. I'm gonna play around with it. This one, I'm gonna use both for streaming, but for my live stream events and what I mean by my live stream events, I'm actually talking about like I want to do way more. I want to do way more. No shit. It's a back one. There we go. I want to do way more live streaming events, like at comps, fighting bouts, boxing matches. I want to live stream them more for my audience. Now I'm probably gonna need a better computer setup because again, there's only so much that computers can handle too. But I ran into an issue with that camera which was overheating, and I seem to have fixed it for right now. But again, it's kind of like, But anyway, like, subscribe, support the channel. Thank y'all for watching. If y'all made it this far, gonna do some edits to this and post it. See you guys soon. Peace.